In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Matter of Fact, here with the Modern Day Hippies. I'm Tommy. As always, here with Rob. How you been?
Good. Man, I'm good. Yesterday I was at the Eagles game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was great seats, great weather. Rough game, but we got the W, so.
Oh, y'all won? All right, word.
Yeah, we won.
The Cowboys been hot ass, so at least y'all got that on y'all side.
They booty, but nah, the whole NFC East is pretty ugly looking.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what's up with it this year.
Yeah,
it's been a good week for me. I don't know. Now that I'm starting to get more used to my camera and just working with clients and stuff, sometimes it'll feel like and just post on YouTube and just being consistent and stuff like that. It'll sometimes feel like I'm not productive in as weeks as I was in past weeks, and sometimes that's a bad feeling. But then I just look back to a week ago when we filmed our last podcast and where my channels, where the views and stuff were sitting at, and then I look today, I'm like, well, you have progressed. So I think that feeling alone is a good feeling to have, as long as you can be aware of why you're feeling like that. But stuff's off to a good start. Stuff's been moving great, this last month. Shit's been great with the podcast, with the YouTube, Instagrams, all that good stuff. But, to get into the show, shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of shit that's going on these days, but shit that doesn't matter, in the grand scheme of things, it's going to matter to some people.
The election. And we wanted to, start off this podcast more with a question. We want y'all to, let us know in the comments on Instagram what y'all think. But I'm curious, Rob, what is your biggest point of value when thinking about voting this election? What will get you out into the stands to vote, or election lines, whatever the fuck they call it?
Yeah, no, I hear you. So it's interesting because I got one of those polls. I think it was by a text message. Tell us who you're voting for. And it wasn't. A lot of times you'll get some of those and it's partisan and stuff like that. And they'll be like, okay, at the end, just donate this money to whoever. It wasn't like that at all. It was just legit. Tell me the facts. What your opinion is. What's your opinion of this person and this person. And the one thing was, what is your number one issue? It could be abortion or the economy, immigration, all that sort of stuff. Law and order, For me, this year, what do you think it is? Do you know mine? What do you think it is?
Let me think. You're a racist. It's got to be immigration.
It's immigration. It's immigration. I'm not a racist. That's a false pretense. Not at all. But no, there's this actually thing. In terms of the economy, immigration is bad for the economy, especially when you bring in people that are low skilled. They're doing the jobs that nobody else will want to do. Well, then they're just taking jobs, and instead of people said they would do that job for a fair wage, they said, no, we'll just find somebody who don't want a fair wage in this country. Which overall, if you look at the trend of immigration plus poverty, they actually go hand in hand.
No, I think that is a good point that you bring up, that a lot of people, regardless of what side of the debate you're on, a lot of people don't think about is that it's not that people won't do those jobs. No, I'm not saying people want to do them. A lot of people probably don't want to do hard-working labor jobs in the sun. But a lot of people don't want to work. So it's not about what you want. It's about what the fuck you got to do. And a lot of people don't feel like it is worth it to work in the fields under all that hot weather for minimum wage. And the thing about these immigrants is a minimum wage to them is millions. It's a good amount of money. It's enough they can live here and send money back, which that gets us to the question is why are we arguing about wages and shit?
Well,
but
they're also getting government assistance.
Yeah, they are. But, and that's not what I brung this all up about. My point is, if you're for immigration and you're using that as a point they're only taking jobs that we don't want, you're kind of allowing immigrants to be exploited. Because that's kind of what's happening. You don't want to do the job. You're like, it's not enough money. Fuck it. Let the immigrants come do it for less money than minimum wage. Because that's what's happening all around not even all around the West, like literally all around America. I remember maybe a year and a half ago, we were talking on the pod about there was like some ring. It wasn't out here on the East Coast of like a bunch of immigrants were working there and like some were kids. Like it went down to like 14. Like that is real shit that happens all over America. Not just in California, not just in Texas. Happens in New York. It probably happens in Wisconsin. Like it happens all over the place. So by you advocating for this, you're advocating for the exploitation of these people even more and more.
Yeah, no, that's the facts of it, you know, because it's like, all right, well, and then so that's not going to help the people that are already here, and then these people are just going to come here and they're going to be poor people, you know, so we're just adding more poor people overall, which again is going to increase the poverty rate and, you know, the wealth disparity and things like that. So it's not a good thing overall. You can look at some immigrants and say, overall, no, they're a net gainer. Well, yeah, because if you add like Jensen Huang, like the CEO of NVIDIA, into that as an immigrant, well, yeah, you know, he just became a 100 billionaire or whatever, so it's going to skew the numbers a little bit. But those people are the exception, but that used to be the people that we looked for in immigrants. It was the people that could come over and be doctors and be those crazy scientists and stuff like that. Not the people that like, all right, nobody wants to work in the chicken factory, so we're just going to get a bunch of immigrants. It's like, nah, people will work there if you pay a reasonable wage and make it reasonable conditions and things like that. They would do it. But,
yeah, and I think the main thing people forget when discussing politics is that first and foremost, politics is related to the government, and the government is of a country. So at the end of the day, America is a country, and a lot of people like to think of the ideal of America and what America could be and correlate that to our rules. And it's not like we're saying we don't want immigrants or immigrants can't come. The country is literally a country full of immigrants. Like literally, if you're an American, like your ancestors were immigrants to this land because none of them was natives unless you're native. And there's not that many natives out there. So the point is, it's like, it's about how they're getting in. And I think that's really where the disconnect is coming from the left and right. Because I think if you were to ask people on the right, you know, unless they're bigots and just ignorant, a lot of them would agree that immigrants are needed for America to function because that's the only reason they're there. The same people on the right and left, we're all immigrants to this land. So, like, don't let your view or your mind on what the right is and what it represents and what it says it is versus what the left says it is confuse you of the facts of the matter. We're all immigrants on this land. So, and that is the matter of fact, is that this isn't any of our land. So immigrants are needed for America to function. But the question and really what all this is about is how the immigrants are entering the country, how they're going through the process. Not saying that our process is perfect. There's lots of flaws within it. That's literally the reason why there's a bunch of undocumented immigrants here now. But just to say there needs to be some process in place so we're able to regulate our country. Literally, that's a part of the government. We just need to be able to regulate it. I would say, though, for myself, my biggest issue when thinking about voting, as you guys know, I'm a non-issue voter. I'm a non-issue voter. I don't vote. Maybe y'all catch me in the next one. I'm abstaining. My right this time around, so I'm 0 for 2 or 2 for 2 for not voting. 2 for 2. Yeah. I don't know what my issue would be that would get me out in those polls and those stands. I don't know what it would be. I think the biggest thing would be for the average voter to start caring more about their vote. I think people don't care enough about their vote right now, and that's why I'm abstaining. I'm taking myself out. Because I care so much about my shit. I'm not going to, play with this bullshit y'all are playing with. So, like I say it every episode at the beginning. I hope your candidate wins, whoever they may be. Just do what you must. But I do think immigration is a big issue on a lot of people's mind. What do you think some of the other big issues are that people have been talking about?
Obviously the economy is going to always be a number one. And that's why you can tie the immigration into the economy, and I think that is a big factor, long-term trend. A lot of people just complain about the economy in the short term, and they don't really look at the underlying factors. So that's why I didn't really pick the economy, but that's a decent one. The other one really big for women is obviously abortion rates. You know,
is that like a super big? Because I haven't been involved in like even election thinking right now. Like I don't care. I really don't care. So I don't know. Is that like that big of an issue for women right now?
I mean, I think it is. I'm not gonna lie. When they start talking about that stuff, I tune out. But that's not for me. I'm not the target audience. So you know what I mean. So, but I think that does energize a lot of women. You know, that's a big deal for them. You know, they want to keep honing it up and get rid of them babies if that's what's necessary to keep honing it up. I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But what can you do about that? The Supreme Court has already decided. So,
well, I think
I think that's like a thing that you can keep complaining about, but like realistically, it's like all right, that's been done. So
I think, yeah. Like, also, I'm pretty sure that's some shit that happened when fucking Biden was in office. Not to say like,
because
people will say like, yeah, but it was with the justices Trump put in place, which okay, that may be valid, but the fact of the matter is like, unless any of them die within the next 4 years or have to step down or whatever, like the same motherfucker's gonna be there. Like that's the point of the Supreme Court is that they're outside of presidential reign. So you voting for Kamala because of that issue. Listen, I don't know anything about this right now. Like I said, I'm checked out of politics. So if y'all want to get mad in the comments, y'all can go ahead and do that. But yeah, like why? You gotta convince me of how voting for Kamala would help you on that front if that's the issue you're voting based on. Yeah. But I mean, I think people also don't understand really what the turning back of Roe v. Wade really was when the Supreme Court turned that back. What they did is they gave power back to the states. And that's one thing has been like an issue we're trying to really figure out in society right now is whether the central government should have the most power or states should have their reserved powers and rights. And a lot of people felt however you may feel about abortion, just know that about half of America feels the opposite, however you may feel. So if you think it's cool to get a punch card and be on your 8th killed kid this week, however you may feel, it's a bunch of cells, whatever.
10th one's free.
Whatever. Like if it's a bunch of cells, cool. I don't care. But the point is that there's a significant amount of enough Americans, enough to where it matters, that think that abortion is literally murder from the devil. Sin. like however you may feel about it, there are a lot of people who feel that way. So to make them live in a country where the entire place, like only 50% of the people are able to live in their best reality or their best world, like it's fucked up. So just how you feel like they're putting you in hell because they took Roe v. Wade back, which doesn't even make abortion illegal. It just gives states the power to make it illegal or not. So if you live in a fucking Democrat ass state, that shit will never happen. Yeah. If you think that's putting you in a hell, just know that there's that many people in America that were in hell literally at them things, fucking with the sign saying abortion is murder, like that were in their hell every day because they didn't have the power to not do that.
One thing to just push back on that comment, I totally agree with everything you said, but part of it is what you just said is like 50-50, but part of the states, they're not necessarily that it's this state wants it and this state doesn't, you know what I mean? Because there's people within the state that do and people within the state that don't, and that's probably 50-50 too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why people are upset about it, because it's like, all right,
that's
overall, true. You know what I mean? It's probably 60-40 in this state. This one's probably 60-40 in favor of, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it probably is in reality. It's not like this state is all about it. This state's not.
That's true.
So, but that's why people are crying about it.
But compromise. You got to figure out how to come to compromise when you're living with a bunch of people of different ideals, different backgrounds, and different sex. And if we want to have a country, if we want to live in a society, that's something we have to do, So, and like, honestly, the laws in America are so weird and so dumb. Like, weed laws, right? If you drive a mile sometimes. A mile can be the difference between 5 years in a maximum security prison and literally nothing. And literally nothing. So, like, everything's kind of fucked. Are people, like, voting on weed? Is that, like, an issue that people are voting on?
I mean, definitely, you know, that used to be bigger and bigger, but now so many states have legalized it already that it's like you can't really, you know, and that was voted at, like, a state level. But no, unfortunately, we don't vote like that in the United States for, like, federal laws, which I wish we did. You know, like in states they did that. Like this is proposition, we're going to legalize weed, and everybody in the state could vote on it in certain instances. If they did that in the United States, we should get some laws passed. Let us vote on what laws we want. You know what I'm saying? Because these motherfuckers ain't doing their job anyway.
Yeah, that kind of goes into a bigger conversation of just, is it time that we rethink and reshape how our entire government system works? Because the United States is not only the youngest country, well, we're probably not the youngest, but one of the youngest, the most successful youngest. Yeah. One of the youngest countries. We also have the oldest governing document of any other country. So that's not the greatest combo to have. I think we're seeing that play out now. And when is it time to really seriously start thinking about restructuring our government systems? That's something to think about for the future. But as of right now, that's shit that doesn't matter because the election is in less than a month anyways. But before we leave this section, I saw something on Twitter the other day about Tim Walz and when he was a teacher or something like that. Like, you know anything?
That might matter.
I didn't know much.
That might matter to Kamala, but I don't know how much of it's going to matter to everybody else. But apparently he was the coach, and he was getting a little too friendly with some of the boys. You know, taking them out, and you know, maybe even a little molestation happened here. Is what they say. So I don't know if he's a molester or not, but the rumors are out. The investigations are going to start. People are going to be digging and looking. Skeleton popped out the closet. I don't know what do you think is going to happen? That's pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, if that's crazy. Legit, I mean, you can't be the VP as a child molester. That'd be the first, right? I mean,
there's a lot of firsts. First woman, first.
Yes, you're right.
Indian.
You're right. Yeah, that's why I'm voting for him.
I'll say this. The reason why we mention this and shit that doesn't matter in any other section is I saw the evidence. The evidence is a tweet. It's a tweet from a random account of a person who may or may not be real. That's not to say that there's not evidence to back up those claims and that this could be a real thing, but it is to say it could be a random motherfucker on their computer just typing shit. So we don't know what it is, and that is ultimately why it's shit that doesn't matter.
Shit that doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think that it may end up becoming shit that matters if evidence comes out, but then again, will it be? Because I think that people hate Donald Trump enough to not give a fuck about putting a pedophile in office. Think about it. We put a senile dementia patient as the president for 4 years.
All right. So again, this, like I said, it doesn't matter because it's all just speculation at this point. But if it did, I think Kamala would even dish him, even at the last second.
Really?
I think at that point,
if it got big enough,
if it came out as like, yo, this is facts. Matter of fact, this is real. No. I don't think that goes.
Well, who be our VP?
For 4 years we just started, and that's the way we're starting off. I don't know, but I don't think it's him. You think you're gonna start off 4 years with that? Like, all right, welcome,
nigga. We started off 4 years with Biden.
This is true. He wasn't sleeping the whole time.
Oh yes,
he was awake the first month or two.
Maybe
one.
Oh maybe my one. Gosh, no, he wasn't.
He was excited. Bro. He was up for that one. He was waiting his whole life.
We had a lot of promise.
He was waiting his whole life for this one.
It was 30 days. It was February, so it was only 28 days.
Yeah. We started off February 6th, so it's less. He's like, I got bored.
Oh, fuck. Bro. But, you know, going to the next section, shit that actually matters because it is shit that is happening. The new Tesla drop. It's not just a new car.
No.
It's not rockets.
No.
It's not satellites giving you continuous Wi-Fi 10G from it, whatever.
He do that too.
Yeah, he does do that. But now, Mr. Elon, Mr. Musk, he's going to the next level with it. Have you seen iRobot? Because that is really literally what it's looking like.
Yeah,
I think I might watch that later.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
The robots and stuff. Yeah, so he had the Tesla event. Pretty fire, really hype.
I think it's called Tesla Optimus, or
Optimus is the robot.
Optimus.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Optimus is the robot. I think the event was called like WeRobot or something like that. But yeah, man, it's pretty crazy stuff. Believe it or not, the stock actually dropped on the news of all this, which is common.
That's good.
You buy the rumor, you sell the news is a common stock thing. So exactly, if buy it, I'm buying it because I found it's under my cost basis right now. So whenever something's under my cost basis and I believe in it, I buy it. Not financial advisor, but very simple advice, which is good. If you believe in it and it's lower than what you bought it for before, fucking buy it again.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we don't know. No finance.
Very simple though.
Just common sense.
Yeah, that's common sense.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch it, we might be the first podcast bringing it to you. Tesla, as Rob was saying, had their event, and they're coming with robo taxis. You feel me? It's some shit that you ain't never seen before. They coming with literal robots. Like, what do you think about all this? Do you think this is dystopian? Are we going too far, or is this the reality of the future?
So that's one of the things that a lot of people are debating about this, and is he said that this is going to happen, at least robotaxi, I think he said by beginning of 2026. So
year and a half. Year and 3 months.
Yeah. Year and 3 months. So that's pretty soon. And it's probably a limited basis. You can already get in driverless vehicles and stuff like that. Like San Francisco, they got Waymo and all that sort of stuff. So it's possible. Totally different technology. Waymo is based on LiDAR, which is like, shooting out beams and bouncing them back to detect things, where his is completely based on cameras. So, and all of his algorithms and all the driving experience that they have and things like that. So, totally different concept that he's going for. I think he's going to be able to do it. The concept looks pretty amazing to me. The natural person here should think that's awesome. And then he even showed off the bus. Carried 20 people. You can carry cargo and stuff, whatever you want around it. I mean,
bro, but this is where it gets scary though, because, all right, let's just stick on the I think it's called robotaxi right now, right? So essentially what you can do, if you buy a new Tesla, right? Let's say you dropped 100 bands on a Tesla.
Fleet.
That's your Tesla. That shit can drop you off at work. You go check in, clock in for your 12-hour shift. And then go work for you and join something called that Elon's calling the fleet. And work as an Uber, basically, for Tesla. And then Tesla will take some of that bread and then you'll get some of it. So like you're leasing your car back to the fleet or some shit like that. But
so with that, then it's a totally different concept when he's talking about that. I think then you're like making an investment into investing in a business by doing that by getting a car, because it ain't really your car then. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be driving it that much, and you better not become too attached to it, because you want that in the fleet. They better be cleaning it. You know what I mean? You better drop me off at home and go to the...
Exactly. You need to work 24/7.
Yeah, you better be working. Yeah, drop me off at home and you're out. So it's an investment. It's not really your car. You don't even want it parked in your driveway.
Yeah, fuck I need it parked for.
Never.
Yeah.
You better be riding.
The entire time.
Money. Exactly, right?
Like, I don't want you ever to have a break.
That's what people don't understand. It's like, okay, it's like he's going to expand his fleet just by you investing in it and using it as a money stream, which is fine. Everyone's win-win for everybody, and that's the way he's like, all right, I need to build these. I don't want to build them all and just send them out there. So I'm going to build them, you're going to buy them, and then we're sending them out there.
But I think, that's really scary because, all right, y'all thinking about it right now, maybe let's say in 2030, it'll be cool. There'll be hella Teslas. You can make some bread. Fuck it. Yeah, you really get into the bag. One, that just increases the fucking wealth gap that much more, because he's about to be selling these Teslas for probably 200,000, 300,000.
Nah, bro, they're supposed to be like 30K.
30K? Yeah. That's even worse.
Even worse.
Everybody gonna have them.
You'll be buying fleets. Dude's like, I already got 100 Teslas. Don't even bother.
Exactly. They got the whole area.
That's what's gonna happen probably,
But not even that. Not even that. Imagine these are the only cars on the road. They're the only thing, right? Which people say is a good
that'd
thing.
Be better for
accidents, what happened, yada yada.
Each other,
but imagine that. You know, Kamala, she in her 8th term, they changed the fucking presidential shit. She in her 8th term. She's now the dictator of America, right? And back in 2021, you said some shit about Kamala when she was vice president. She wasn't doing shit. You made a bad tweet.
Crash.
Oh, no, don't even crash your shit. You think you're going to work, you hop in your Tesla.
You go, damn.
Yeah.
Got you.
Shit. Yeah. Y'all didn't want immigration. All right, that's fine. Now you can do it.
All right. Yeah.
50 Cent.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. That's the thing. I mean, but I don't know. The future is inevitable. Is one thing. Like, not necessarily that, but like the technology is like. So it's
if he don't do it, somebody gonna do it.
Other people are also doing it now. Like I said, Waymo's doing it already. There's a company called Aurora Technology that's doing it with tractor trailers specifically. You know what I mean? So tractor trailers, driverless tractor trailers, that's pretty crazy. If they let that happen...
I'm just saying, back in the day, there used to be these books called the Bible, Quran, and whatever, the Torah.
Right.
And that, they describe shit like that as the mark of the beast or whatever you want to call it. At a point, it's like, shit. Do we got to take them out? No. Did you see that video? Did you see that video of like the white dude at the Trump rally? He was like, "Yo, these pedophiles, he's like they're taking over our government. When do we get the guns?" And like people started clapping. He's like, "Nah, I'm dead ass. When do we kill these niggas?" So like, I remember America was founded, right?
Yeah.
By a bunch of people going to their government with their guns and taking back their freedoms, right? This shit doesn't really apply to the Elon shit, but my point is, I'm not saying do that. This is my point.
I don't know where Tommy's going with this shit. I'm lost too.
This is my point. When as a society are we going to say it's enough? Because the average person probably doesn't think this shit is cool. The average
what do you mean?
Joe, like if we went down the street,
the robots.
No, the robots. Right, the robots. We're not talking about the guns, but the robots. They don't think this shit is cool. They probably like, all right, they've seen enough movies to be like, it's getting a little far, whether they're uneducated or not. Right.
To bring it back, matter of fact, to one of our previous episodes, we briefly discussed the port strike.
Yeah.
One of the things that they wanted written in their contract was no automation, no, don't do anything that's going to eventually replace us. Is essentially what they wanted written in their agreement. Where in China, they're like, all right, they're driving this remote, they're operating the dock remotely, from like 50 miles away with cameras and joysticks and all that stuff, So that stuff's already done.
I mean, I think that's the point I'm trying to get at is like, when are we going to organize as a society, as a people, to stop billionaires, stop hella rich people that... Elon not even from here.
He's an immigrant too.
His ass not even from it.
He's an immigrant too.
But he's not even from here, and he's saying, yeah, bro, I'm going to go in America and send out a fleet. Like fuck y'all cars. I got it. Y'all got climate change. I got it. But I'm gonna send out 100,000 Teslas. He's like, I'm gonna make them so cheap and everybody can get them. Yeah. So like he coming to our place and doing this, like I fucks with Elon, to be honest, but I'm just like, when is enough? Like, when are we gonna be like, yo, we not fucking with this robot shit? Are you fucking with it? I
don't know. Like I said, but I'm a little older than you, so I might not. I'm gonna hit the tail end. Like you might have to be fighting these things, like Terminator style, Tom. You know what I mean? That might be your life, but they're not gonna be that advanced when I get there. I think they're getting there, but not that level. But
man, fuck that. He's gonna be
fighting them.
Nah, fuck.
Yeah, Tommy's he's going to war with the robots. I'm just gonna have to live amongst them for a little bit, but like they'll be taking care of me when I'm old and stuff. But
and you gonna be the wave of the first niggas they kill.
Probably.
See, Robert?
It's like, feeble. I trusted you. I robot. You're my friend. We robot. Right? I fell in love with a robot like you did. I
don't need no.
I paid money for it too.
Damn, but that's kind of like my point is like when is and it's not just the fleet. First off, that's literally an insane idea. But he's also making actual robots that look just like the robots in our robots.
They do look like the robots, and they're crazy. They be making drinks and shit. They're crazy. He's good. He has them like operating in his warehouse and stuff like to start. You know, that's where they're like learning and stuff. So, no, I mean, but other companies again are doing the same sort of stuff. They're trying to do that. You know, his are very impressive and on the front line because it's Tesla. But
this is how the world. We predicted it, bro. This is how the world ended, bro. We literally watching it. Look, people in the future, they're gonna look back on MDH TV and these conversations. They're gonna be like, damn, bro, they literally prophesized the future.
Right.
Just some high niggas. The weed telling us. The weed is telling us we fucking should not be doing this, bro. We should not be doing this because, you know, to go into the next segment, we're already not even having really human interaction anymore.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Yeah, so I guess what is that? The trends with dating is online dating is pretty much almost exclusively the way people meet. Either that or they don't meet at all.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a couple other ways, but just definitely a sad trend. And the way that you do it online, not the healthiest way in the world. You know, that's why it's a great opportunity. Like Tommy, he's still in college and things like that. You know, you forced to hang out with other people your age, but people don't think about it. They're like, oh, I got tons of time. I do all this stuff. But nah, actually, you probably don't. You're going to think you do, but you're going to get out here and
so I need to get my bitch right now.
I mean, to be honest, if you want a real ride or die, like, you would have been had her and she would have been chilling. You know, that's the thing. Like, you had to, like, my buddy had a long relationship, like, with his girl, and they went through some stuff. But, you know, then they're together and good. Because later in life, like, I realized one thing. I was talking to some girls and stuff like that. Like, girls, they're all going to care about what you have. That's all they care about. You know what I mean? Even if they say they don't, like, it's like, I don't really care, but you have to have at least these things. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, well, first of all, I don't know. That's a very bad sign of them, very shallow of somebody to think that. And right off the bat, because... Like, you wouldn't even understand, like, oh, well, what is your situation? What do you do? Like, maybe you invest and you have a lot of money and you do this or that or whatever, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, women are weird. Women are really weird, you know, so, you know, it's either going to be that they don't have shit, want you to save them, or if they do have shit, then if they're like a successful woman, which is what they all want to go out and be, is a badass bitch, then they want to find somebody who's going to have more shit than they do. If you're a badass bitch, like, those badass motherfucking dudes,
they won't bum.
They're either pimping all these hoes because they're a badass dude. You know what I mean? You got mad bread, you get any chick you want. But otherwise, a lot of successful guys, too, they're probably settled down. You know what I mean? A lot of them. Like engineers, doctors, people like that. They're not getting into their, you know, too old without getting married. Usually.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing.
The trend is changing. The trend is changing because of what we just talked about.
This is the thing, right? I don't think we really realize the effect the internet, for one, but specifically social media has had on the minds of people. Not just young people, but even adults. Like, I remember when Instagram was just coming out, my dad got in a car accident because this motherfucker was scrolling on Instagram. It was like something minor. It wasn't crazy. Like, it was like real, like, chill. Like, there wasn't even no damage on the car. Yes. And as soon, like, but we in the car with the nigga, right? And as soon as like everything gets settled and we're back driving, the nigga gets back on Instagram.
Addiction, right?
Bro, and this was like literally when that shit was just coming out. So like it's been like a decade plus now, and it's been like a decade plus now, right? And not only has people have grown up on Instagram. I'm a part of literally the generation that has grown up on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media. And what that includes is it's warping your reality. It's making you delusional because you'll see a lot more pretty girls than you're used to. You'll see a lot more rich dudes than you're used to. You'll see a lot more successful people than you're used to. So it'll make you depressed. It'll make you feel like you're not doing enough at a young age. Like, I've struggled with that so much. And then I realized, like, bro, I'm 23. Like, I don't know shit. Like, I'm not even 25. I'm still legally able to be on my parents' fucking medical insurance.
And you probably are.
Yeah, I am. but that's the point. Like, I'm a baby in this game of life as far as society goes. So niggas will get caught up because they see niggas like IShowSpeed get millions of dollars at 18. They see people in like these FaZe clans and AMP like be young as fuck and have millions of dollars. And it's like, that's a couple of niggas out of hundreds, if not millions of people that are trying to be that. And two, that doesn't mean you're not being successful. Like, if you like, but men don't get successful for real till like what, 35, 40? Like, that's when you start really hitting your peak as a man.
Nowadays,
like, you got time, bro.
Nowadays it is skewed because, I mean, there's little kids that are like 6 years old opening up toys and playing with them, making millions of dollars on YouTube. Yeah. No joke. You know what I mean? Obviously, literally. Parents are taking the shit. Literally, that's how it's working. You know, so that skews people's mind a little bit because you can go do that sort of stuff. But that's not like, you know, that's not a real reality for a lot of people. You know,
but for people, for kids in my generation and even younger than me who like really been babies since this shit was out. Like, that is their reality. The internet, social media has become their reality to the point where online dating is up so high because people are a lot more picky. Like, I tell girls all the time, you guys don't realize y'all fuck like 10 to 15% of all the dudes. Like, all y'all are fucking the same dudes. And I'm like, if we go in a room, you won't even like, until I say it and make you realize, like, you won't realize that there's that many dudes in the room. You'll just look at the 5 niggas you want to fuck or that you fuck, and so will all the other girls, and y'all will be like, oh, niggas not shit because those 5 niggas not shit. Even they're around 50 wholesome niggas that will never cheat, that like good ass dudes. And that's my point is social media. Yeah, they'll call them dusty and shit, right? And that's kind of my point is that social media has warped the minds of our youth to the point where every girl thinks that they deserve or can get a rapper that has 50 chains, will buy him a Birkin and fly him out on trips to Miami whenever they want. Every girl thinks they can get with a guy of a high status, a high profile, and they think that there are that many out there because the internet is showing you all of that. Like, if that's what you're looking at, that's all the algorithm's going to show you. So you think that's all that there is out there. And it's like, matter of fact, the average nigga is not like that. And you probably don't want to do what it takes to get a nigga that's like that. So it's like, that's why loneliness is up. And that's why online dating is up, because these bitches get in relationships with niggas who can fly them out. Even though that nigga is just in 10 relationships with bitches that don't know.
Because the next week he ain't flying you out, but he's flying somebody else out, you know? Dumb bitches, but that's the thing. So what do you think, Tommy? You know what I mean? Like, what does your future hold? Like, do you think that it's just going to keep deteriorating? Like, just like China, like, they have a birth crisis now. You know, obviously they did their one-child policy. That was a big mistake for them in the long run. And now, just like generations of people are like, all right, there's so many men and there's not enough women, and you know, and by a certain age, they consider people like, the forgotten women, you know, because that's the other thing too. Like, you want to fall in love with like women, like their beauty is in their youth. I mean, unfortunately, usually their beauty, most beautiful, is in their youth. That's just a fact of nature.
Like how young?
well, you know what I mean. Like people, girls they're pretty, but you know what I mean. So legally young is 15 years old. Dude. Is all that matters. but of course you want to that's you're supposed to develop and become a beautiful little girl. So then you 18.
Like when do they start getting ugly?
Well, and then girls tell you themselves like it gets harder for them.
They don't like when they turn 30.
They don't like when they turn 30. That's a big one. You know what I mean? And so yeah, their prime is probably 18 to 28 is probably the prime, and then 29
that's
that
10 years?
transition year.
So that decade.
Okay.
So that's all the girls got.
Usually got 10. But if
I'll say y'all got until 40.
But if you're bad, like you can look good till you're 50. If you're bad, you look good. But you have to keep up with it.
Yeah. You gotta work at it, obviously.
Because if you're already like a bigger girl, you're only gonna get bigger unless you do something.
I think, ladies. I think from 20 to 40. But it is just a fact that like once you hit like 36, 35, it starts getting dangerous for you to have kids. So like biologically, you're not as fertile. That is a fact. But I think 20 to 40, most of y'all, a good amount of y'all, even though like there's a good amount that drop off at like 30.
No, dude, that's the thing. Like the real range is to be honest, you could go 20 all the way up to
33.
No, you could go to 45.
45.
You could.
45.
You could.
Yeah.
Dude, girls could be looking good. You know what I mean?
With standard deviation of 2.
Really good.
2 years.
Exactly. There you go. Throw it in
there.
Yeah. If you give it to them, girls look good. But at that point, though, the thing is, they've been through some shit, especially if you're looking good. It wasn't like they had problem getting attention from dudes. They got a lot of that. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So
that is
either they were married or they've been out there a lot or both, all the above, So.
That is a matter of fact. That is true. Well,
and that's not attractive quality for men.
So
that's where you look at passport, bro. You heard that?
Yeah. Would you be a passport, bro? Cause like I know women, they'll say that as like an insult. It's like, all right, they don't give a fuck. That's
why
why
would
they
you care?
Yeah, but
obviously, yeah. No, I would consider it. You know what I mean? If I had that option to
how would you like go about doing it? Like, would you just like Google where the bitches?
I don't know how
where the bitches at.
I guess I would, right? Yeah. Yeah. I guess you'd have to do a lot of research into it because I'm sure it's not like I don't know how it all works, but
would you just like
if you're looking to go meet a woman there?
Would you go off like
back? Is that what they do, or you're
yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. Or they stay there.
Nah, maybe it depends. It's up to you for real. But let's say you're looking for one you want to bring back. Are you going based off like the baddest bitch you know? Like what country is what ethnicity is this? Or are you like going to be like where do niggas have the most success rate?
Yeah, I would do my research. You know what I mean? I'm not biased. You know what I mean? I want to have success. I wouldn't do my research. So I don't have an answer off the top of my head. It's not like I want that girl from here. Just, you know what I mean? Nah, I want to, find out where these ones are good at. A nice homely woman.
Where the bitches that clean at? Where they from?
I don't know. No, but another factor I guess would be like there's some countries where like you can find them where they're more likely to speak English and shit too.
Oh, she gotta speak English?
Well, I don't speak their language. So we're not gonna talk.
And what is she willing to learn?
Right?
She just gets the broom. She starts sweeping. Yeah. No, she just gets the broom. She starts sweeping.
There's only a couple things I need you to know, and it's your chores. I'll write them down once. I don't want to tell you again.
These are the only words you gotta know.
Yes,
you gotta know.
I'm kidding. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Oh no, man.
Couldn't be bad though.
Google's after like where is the bitches?
Right, Alexa, find them. Send them.
Oh shit.
Let me order 2.
Nah, but that I don't. Do you think that that'll be a rising phenomenon in the future?
I do. I do.
It's me, nigga.
Nah, it's actually you, motherfucker. That's what they say. That's what they say. They say it's the young motherfuckers that are like politically polarized, that are more men versus women are polarized, that are just more going their separate ways. It's happened more in the younger generations more than ever.
I'll say these bitches be tripping here, man.
Right? Yeah, you know more than I don't know the young ones, so you do. You know, so
Nah, I mean like.
but that's what they say.
I love American women. I love women. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no robots.
seriously. Nah, I want to fuck with
It's
a
going
robot.
passport before robot. Passport before robot. All right.
For sure. I think I would date a transgender woman before a robot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, I'm not down with a robot.
Would you date a man before a robot?
No, I don't know about that. I'm
Like,
already using our imagination every time. We're already using our imagination, go a little wild. I think I just go solo there, then, but I think like a transgender
Like she
woman
bad.
is more of a woman than a robot.
No, facts.
So I know they're not.
But
women.
no, what if the robot look just like a woman though? She look just like
not Elon's robot. I'm not.
not
You're making a drink of my dick. Shaking it.
we talking about 50 years,
50
bro.
years.
They got it down. Like they can synthesize the human skin. It feels just like a human.
Calm down.
It's a
Then I'll take the woman. I don't need
Wait, no, which one? Would you take the
No,
robot?
then I'll take the woman that's a robot. I guess at that point,
And if you want to have a kid, they can program.
yeah, type that shit.
You can build the kid.
Look up the CAD, computer-aided designer.
Oh shit!
There you go for that.
Hey, we laughing, but this is like literally a real ass reality that's not that far away.
5 years.
5? Yeah, I'm ready, bro. You gonna passport before you go to
pre-order in. I got my pre-order in.
10-year pre-order. I'm ready, bro.
No, like I said, I still go for the real girl. I'm still for the real girl. I still passport before robot. I'm not there yet. That'll be the young generation. That's like your folks and maybe a little younger.
Nah, bro, don't say my
Some of your folks. Some of your folks.
That's not around yet.
Some of your folks, but they're gonna be in it when it comes. They're gonna be in it when it comes. Like they're
gonna be the freaky nigga.
Yeah, definitely.
But if she bad, you can make her look like anybody. You can be fucking Beyonce.
That'd be crazy stuff, man. I don't want to see what people be fucking at that point either. I hope
you make her Beyonce.
I hope I'm dead. I don't even want to see that. The porn that they come out with that. Robots going at it. Crazy.
Bro, it's already crazy with the AI. It's already crazy.
Facts, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
like, bro, I don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest. But
AI is powerful shit. We're only scratching the surface there. We got AI plus robots. The next thing coming is quantum computing.
Elon want to drop the Starlink phones.
Yeah, the Starlink phone.
So he not only do he want to take over driving, he want to put robots in your house and take over communication. Fuck this nigga, bro. Like, he cool and all, but bro, there's something about this nigga, bro. Like, I'm starting not to trust this nigga. Fuck is wrong with him? And he trying to go to space.
Exactly.
And you got all these like, what is you trying to do? Like, damn.
We need that though.
No, we don't, bro. We are chill. We can just stop. How about that? Let's just chill.
Because that's the thing. Like, people are like, we're other countries aren't doing it. Look at China. They're way ahead of us with like electric vehicles and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly. Look at China. Do you want America to be like China?
Well, you don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, no, not necessarily like them, but like one thing that somebody said was like they're developing like was it nuclear fission, or whatever we don't have, right? Fusion or fission. And whatever it is they call it like harnessing the power of the sun. You know what I mean? It's like so much more powerful than.
That's what they was talking about in Spider-Man 2.
So whoever does that is gonna. So that's what they're saying. Like China right now is working on that like 60 times more than what the U.S. is, which is not good.
Because we're working on shit that actually matters, like
but listen to
gender
that.
identity.
So if that works out, and that's the most powerful source and efficient source of energy in the world, and they have all these relationships with all these other countries, and then they're supplying their energy to every other country in the world, they will be the most powerful country in the world.
Bro, oh well, we still America, bro. We got nukes.
So we're talking about them building crazier shit like that nuke, you know. So,
but we will nuke them before that.
Yeah, it'll be crazy. I mean, that's the other thing is like technology. We can talk about that forever. Military technology is the future too.
I mean,
artificial intelligence and that, robots and that, all that shit.
But before we wrap this up, I just want to ask: do you think there's any turning back? Getting back on this dating crisis that there is, of it only being online dating, of most people being lonely, not being able to get into relationships. Do you think there's any way that my generation, the younger generations, can turn it around? Even your generation, because like I was talking to a couple people, and he was like an older guy. He was like, yeah, I met my wife back in like 2014. We got 2 daughters, yada yada. I'm like, oh shit, how y'all meet? He was like, man, we met on like Facebook. I'm like, damn, like there's that whole families that like came out of Facebook, which is beautiful, but at the same time it's like, damn, that's crazy. So do you think there's like any way we turn this around, or is it like donezo's?
So I think there is not necessarily turning around too much. Like I said, if you look at the chart that we were looking at, where the trends are just like plummeting, but they're not dead yet. So I don't think things are going to completely die, but I don't think there's going to be a gain in market share from anything else. I think just young folks are going to try to hold on to some things, especially those that can't meet online. Like you said, if you're not a top 10, I don't know, I wouldn't say top 10 dude. Like top 10 dude, you get the baddest of the bad. But
if you like top 50 in your area, you good.
You're good. Yeah, you could probably get some
top dates. 50 in your area.
You should get some dates. But those bottom 50 and stuff like that.
No, it's like a bottom 2, like it's a bottom million.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like if we're thinking 50 out of like 1,000, let's say it like that.
Nah, that's probably more than that. But
no. I'm just saying like that's the ratio. 50 out of 1,000.
They say that younger people. That's the thing. Once you recognize something, which we're recognizing it right now. Matter of fact, we're telling you this is what is happening. It's coming your way. Watch the fuck out. Don't get hit by the train. So get out the way and do something. And I think people are starting to do that. You know what I mean? They're going to say, okay, no, this isn't the only way. We have to do this stuff. And, I don't know. Different trends of people that are probably doing it the other way. It's like, oh, we're going to have to go to dating events and go to this like speed dating and doing whatever fun stuff for younger people. But they recognize the need to do that.
Do you think that's in like a significant enough number for it to matter at the end of the day?
Not at all. Right now, no. I think it's very small. Could that become a trend? I guess we'll see. But right now, it's a very small percent. I've never heard and seen. It's just stories that you read in the news right now. So that could be one small town doing something like that. But it has to become a trend where people say and see, like, okay, if we could keep going down this track, it's not healthy. But can you stop? It's addicting. What do you think? What do you think your future is, Tommy? Do you guys have a chance, or is it doom and gloom?
I don't know. I will say that we live in an ever-changing world, and if you want to be successful, not just from an economic standpoint, but just from a human life standpoint, it's best that you adapt to the changing times. But it is important that you have a foundation that you can refer to, so that you don't just become this thing that's always morphing. So I think with me, it's great that love can be found and created and manifest with people across the world from each other. That's something that's never existed That's a reality that was only available for kings and princesses, if anyone, not even a couple hundred years ago. So for that to be something that exists, I think is a beautiful thing. And I think with the way our world is set up now, there is ways to meet people in those ways organically. But I do fear that online dating is becoming far too normal in the sense that having a relationship through text, through FaceTime, like you guys may see each other every so often, but you communicate mostly through text, short sentences, not full thoughts, full words. Like the way we are communicating with the people we care about is kind of being
that's
up.
just like communication too. But in dating, that's even worse, right? The communication of dating is you don't even know these people, and you essentially some people. How quickly and bored are you when you get on the internet, especially if you're like a TikToker or something like that? I guess those are real quick, right? Like seconds. So you're bored in seconds. So like you just said, like you don't even get to FaceTime, bro. You know what I mean? Like you better make an impression and whatever the first thing you say. A lot of women are like that. Like, you better impress me with something fancy. And at the same time, they're looking at 100 messages. They're scrolling through these like Snapchat and like TikToks. The guys aren't, but they are. So like everybody, if you're saying something nice, I'm like, oh, well, 10 guys said something similar to what you did. You know?
So what sets you apart at that point?
Well, that's what they want. Then you gotta jump through hoops, juggle, fire and all that kinds of stuff. Eat swords at the same time.
And that's why I think organically meeting someone will always reign, because that impression you give is the impression they have of you. So you can end up having a weak ass Instagram with a couple hundred followers, and instead of being some lame ass nigga that hopped in their DM, they'll be like, "Ooh, I like that. Like, not too many people know you," type shit. Like, literally give you the opposite effect of just the first impression being something through online. So I think that'll always reign, and I think that technology has given us the ability to maintain relationships with people that aren't, just in our town and shit. And that's facts. We don't know what that's doing genetically on like a long-term thing, because, now we're mixing cultures, we're mixing so much. So what does the world look like 200 years from now?
Genetics is only happening if you fucking.
But there's also families coming out of this. Like, like the world is changing so much, and we don't know where we are right now in reality. Like, we don't know what the future is. Like, if we revert, if we all become one race in damn near how many millions of years? Like, let's say 100,000 years, like, we just all one race at that point, because we was just all fucking each other that much. And we're robots, too, because Elon took over. So,
could you imagine if they can create a robot that you could have babies with? For the next episode.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all for this episode of Matter of Fact. Let us know what y'all thought on our Instagram and in the comments. Appreciate y'all if y'all made it this far. Let us know how y'all liking the new format of the podcast. You got any last words for the people?
Nah, I think Presidente should sponsor us still, because we steady drinking them.
Yeah.
And if you want to replace this beer and want us to drink your beer, send us a case and we'll drink it and put it on the show.
Yeah. And if you want to connect with us more, have monthly podcast kind of conversations just like this, check out our Patreon. All that's going to be lit in the description. But we appreciate y'all, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. This is Matter of Fact with the Modern Day Hippies, signing out. Peace.